Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. And we had an action-packed weekend of college hoops. Kind of anticlimactic last night, though. It was close for a while, and then UConn decided to lean on Purdue in the second half, Pat.
They are an unbelievably well-coached team. I could see why Danny Hurley might change. He changes his roster every year, though. I got to think he might have a thin shelf life, as crazy as he is on the sidelines. And I'm sure practices are loud and boisterous, and maybe they don't listen to him as well. But man, is that a well-coached team? And the smartest thing they did is they said, okay, now they had the advantage of having a 7'2" guy to battle Edie, right? Nobody else does, but they didn't double team him, and they only shot 7 threes all night. They went 1 for 7 on threes. They wouldn't let him shoot the three. All year, Purdue's thing has been everybody surrounds Edie, and they make 41% of their threes because they get all the open threes. This guy just had him guard the perimeter. They couldn't, they got great defenders on the perimeter, and they used up their 9 fouls on Edie down low. The backup fouled out, and the other kid had 4, I think. But they just they've kind of grind it out for a while, and then they just grind you down and pull away from you. It's amazing. They set a record for the largest, in the NCAA tournament. Their margin of victories, their total point victories, are the largest ever. And last year they did the same thing, but last year they didn't have the same team that was great from the start. They had to fight last year to get to the tournament, and but boy, that's a well coached team. There's no doubt about it. They know what they're doing. You know who goes nuts about them is guys like Jay Wright, and Greenberg goes nuts about everybody. But when Jay Wright's talking about the stuff they're doing, and it's not. When you hear him, he's not like just blowing smoke everywhere. He really is. They are really impressed with the plays those guys are running and the approach they take in and the way they guard people. So
wait, you think Greenberg blows smoke? I saw yesterday there was a clip going around. So Calipari went to Arkansas yesterday, and Seth Greenberg was doing the ESPN tour, explaining to everyone that Calipari is running to Arkansas, not from Kentucky. That this is he's running to Arkansas.
Yeah, although that's not official yet, right? Is that official? Did they announce it yet?
I don't know if they've announced it, but it's being reported that it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's it is astounding that he's 65. I guess we looked it up yesterday. 65. So I was telling Judd yesterday that I dealt with him when he was out at UMass, and he was just this suave, guy, just a great BSer of all time, kind of like Patino's old man was when he started off, just the nicest guy. And he turned into, last time I dealt with him, he's a complete jackass. And he's, that Kentucky job can do things to you, but Calipari's been through a lot of wars, including the NBA and NCAA investigations and expectations in Kentucky. The Kentucky Kentucky basketball job is like the football jobs at the 10 most prominent schools in the country. You gotta win. If you don't win, they're mad at him this year. And did they get beat right away, or did they win one? First round, yeah. Okay, that was the end. He said, "I better get out of here."
This feels a little bit like the Tubby Smith thing from 15 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah. And old Tubby. Yeah, right. And he's a big buddy of that's the same Tubby. Tubby hired himself at Minnesota. We didn't hire him.
He just flew to town.
Tubby's agent hired him, and he's a big buddy, I guess, of the redneck chicken owners down there. Tyson, big right wing outfit that he's tied in with, which doesn't surprise me at all. So
hey, I've got the odds, by the way, for the next Kentucky coach. I think you guys will find this interesting. So Scott Drew is even money odds.
He must be rumored then, huh?
He must be. And then Nate Oates,
Yeah,
Alabama.
that's the guy they want. But why would Nate Oates leave
I
Alabama?
think he said he's staying put now.
I
Is he?
would too.
Okay.
I would too. You down there at Alabama, they're probably going to pay you the same amount of money, and you're still going to be not as important as spring football practice. They're not going to like riot in the streets if you're rotten.
So we can take Nate Oates off the board, which means the
Well,
guy
I'm
that's
not-
third. Which means the guy that's third on this list, we can move up to second on this list.
Rick
Danny
Pitino?
Hurley.
Rick Pitino is eighth on the list.
Oh.
Oh,
Richard Pitino is second now on the list.
Uh,
7-1.
Well, he didn't get the Louisville job. He got mentioned for the Louisville job, and then it didn't happen. I hope for Richard's sake he doesn't get that job because it would. He does not have the credentials for that job except the last name. I mean, they had a decent year in New Mexico.
Happened before.
I mean,
Huh?
is the last name enough to? Let's say Scott Drew turns him down. Billy Donovan's fourth on this list, by the way. Billy Donovan with the Bulls. That's kind
That's a
of
good one. I like
kind
that
of a
one.
weird ending. He could really soft land himself back with the
Oh,
top
yeah,
college
he
basketball
might.
job, right?
Yeah, he might. He and Billy Donovan is the guy who hired Richard Pitino for the Gophers.
Yeah, that's right.
When Norwood was, we got turned down by the first 7 guys. The last guy who got turned down is the guy who just left Southern Cal. That was at Florida Gulf Coast. What's his name? Enfield, right? Enfield.
Andy
Yes.
Enfield.
He just
Yeah, he
left
went. He
USC.
went down to Fort Myers to see him, and Andy said, "I'm going to Southern Cal." And then that's allegedly, well, supposed. I've heard it from enough people to believe it that he called up. He called up Norwood and said, "Who you?" Billy Donovan called up Norwood called up Billy Donovan and said, "Who you got for me?" And he said, "Well, Richard's over at Florida International. He was Florida International, right?
Yeah, FIU,
and-
right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'd only been there 1 year. He's 30 years old, and that's how we got Richard here.
Still
But
Pat.
Richard will get some job here in the next year or so. Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the ball club.
We need stoplights on this show. I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the ball club. All right. So last night, as you tweeted, the best news, only 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position
that's
because
right.
they didn't bother getting
No.
guys in scoring position.
Now I was watching mostly basketball, so I didn't watch the futility. But didn't the last 18? Didn't I see that the last 18 were retired? The last 6 innings, nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Buxton reached on a single in the 4th and 18 consecutive in a row after
18 consecutive. Okay, yes. So that'll cut down on your
Strikeouts.
Zeros. Strikeouts too. They only had 7.
Yeah.
They didn't
Congratulations.
they weren't at bat. They weren't at bat long enough to strike out. They didn't even hit enough foul balls. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes too. We were complaining about time of game. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Crisp.
I don't know. What do you think? Is this a crisis here?
It's not a crisis.
okay.
I don't think it's a crisis. They're getting on base. They weren't last night. They're hitting the ball hard. If you look at like exit velocities and things, they just aren't hitting with runners in scoring. They're literally hitting like 120 with runners in scoring position or 115. So that's going to turn.
Now they got another pitcher hurt, Duarte. I thought that was just to get a guy on the roster, but apparently he's hurt too. So that's 8, right? That according to the Bobby Nightingale story this morning, they got 8 pitchers hurt, and we don't know if Alcala's. He left the game the other day. Not that that's a big deal, but what was the why did they just bring up Miranda for a game to face a left-handed pitcher or something? What is that?
They wanted him up just in general because they wanted an extra bat in the lineup. Rocco did say explicitly, though, that he is not the everyday third baseman, so do not expect him to be at third base every single day.
He's got Castro. Who needs him?
Yeah, right. That's right. You got Castro playing every day. Well, this team, as paranoid as they are about pitching, they aren't going to carry 14 position players very long either. No. They'll probably just send him back, in the next couple of days or something. But I don't think they're very good. I think that the bigger problem is they aren't very good. I was, I was talking to Judd about this yesterday. Wallner, all right, he was okay for 6 weeks. What do we know about him? We don't, he might not be a productive big league player. Kepler, awful, terrible, same as he was last year for 3.5 months. Buxton struck out a lot as a DH. He can also strike out a lot as center fielder. Fantastic plays in center field yesterday was very encouraging, but he's not hitting. You like Kyle Farmer? You can have Kyle Farmer. I am not a Kyle Farmer fan. Okay, he's okay. He's just an extra guy.
The Kyle
I'm not a
Farmer
Kyle-
disrespect will
I'm not
not
a
stand
Kyle
on this
Farmer
podcast.
fan. I'm not a
Reusse,
Kyle
I'm
Farmer
not a Kyle
fan.
Farmer fan.
Third base. They
You
got
always,
an
you always love to pick on the
Boy,
backup
no,
utility.
no.
The
And
Brendan
And now
Har-
Declan's
from
going to get
Brent-
jumped by
Brendan
Farmer.
Harris.
What's up with your co-host, mate?
No. I mean, he's an okay player, but I mean, what I don't know. It's play Kirilloff at first. Why did they spend $5.5 million for a corpse? Carlos Santana.
It's
For
been a
goodness-
week.
I know, but he's not Carlos Santana anymore. That was 2 years ago. He was bad last year. And you do it for first base defense. Who gives a good damn about first base defense? Kirillov's fine at first base. He's not Herbie. He's not an all-star. Who cares? When you did that, you had Reusse Lewis playing third and Carlos Correa playing shortstop. You don't need a great first baseman. You got two great fielders on the left side of the infield. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand that you're going to, of course, the fact they got him cheap had a lot to do with it. This whole cost cutting down to 125 million is really looking bad right now. That's for sure.
So
And,
just to be clear, you're pessimistic about the Twins. It sounds like.
yeah, I am, because I thought the pitching was supposed to be the problem, right? We all agreed the pitching was going to be the problem. And now you look at the lineup and you say, when you have pitching as your main problem and your lineup's bad, that's not going to reject. That's not going to work. But then
And you might
again,
wind up being right. I think what I'm saying is I don't know that we can say anything definitively for like another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And maybe
I
you're
agree.
right. You've seen a lot more baseball than we have.
no,
I just want to see like 2 more weeks before I
Yes.
completely bail on
and,
this
and
team
I
and this
agree
lineup.
with you. I agree with you, but the vibe is terrible right now. The vibe has been terrible since they decided not to spend any money.
See,
And
they shouldn't have said
vi-
that out loud. Like if
No.
they would have just not said it out
No.
loud.
Yeah, right. Or if they, you cannot send out this starting rotation and say we're going to compete, for goodness sakes. I mean, you can't. You got to have another body that's gives some support to Pablo. Paddock you can't talk about Chris Paddock as, oh man, we're really excited about him. If he's going to pitch 105 innings, 110 innings, he's coming off 2 TJs, for goodness sakes. I don't know. It's they've managed to. How was the crowd last night? What did we say? 17.
Yeah, 15,
Wasn't-
17,000.
It looked
That-
more full though because the upper deck was roped off. So
Yeah.
Including the 2 bars. When they close bars there, you're in trouble. That's all I know.
So what? There's a bar upstairs. I didn't even know.
There's
there was
those
a bar.
2 side-by-side bars
yeah.
Okay.
where let's say eventually a press box could go.
Yes.
And those are all the entire upper deck is closed, including that lower portion of it.
Oh, okay.
The entire thing.
Wow. That doesn't look good when I would have waited till the Dodgers left, because the people might pay attention to that. The Twins are in such bad shape. They had to rope off seats for the Dodgers, who everybody else can't wait to see. But I don't know. I blame Major League Baseball for this, not the Twins. That the idiots would schedule the Dodgers. What are you doing? The Dodgers should be out the West Coast playing their rivals now, and then they should come in the Midwest in the summer, where you can draw some people and create interest. They don't give a damn. Baseball doesn't give a damn about creating interest in the American League Central. They hate us. Okay, they don't care about us at all. Baseball. Otherwise, the Dodgers would be playing here in June or July instead of April for 2 times in a row. Unbelievable.
I don't think Bally's is going to call Pat to do anything on the pregame show this week.
Coming up next.
The Twins just should be thankful for this, that Ozzy doesn't do their postgame show.
Oh,
That's what
God.
they
Hey, you can't pull fat, as he said.
Is he the greatest or not?
You can't pull fat.
He's good.
Oh man.
It's a sad thing that his managerial career, just because he said Castro isn't that bad a guy, he was basically he got fired at Miami because he said, Castro is a lot of there's a lot of good things about Castro, tough guy and all that stuff, and all the Cubans turned on him down there. So.
Yeah, it was a bad. I thought at some point the White Sox, in their mess the last few years, might turn the page back and hire him back as manager. But
talk about a team
ship has sailed.
proud. Talk about a team that's proud to tank. The White Sox. What?
Oh yeah.
That's a bad team.
I'm going to go to the state legislature and ask for $1 billion for a new stadium. And then, by the way, we're devoted to being rotten this year. So really, give us that $1 billion, will you? What?
Yeah, it's been a rough look for the White Sox the last 15 years or so,
Yes.
for the most part.
So who we got chucking tonight? I didn't even look.
Well, by the way, okay,
we got Glass now against Louis, right? Who?
Yeah. Yep.
Bailey
What-
Over was good last night. I just
I
want to
know
say
he was. I know
he was
he
good
was.
last night.
Okay, what are the Glass now against Louis though? It's got to be Dodgers. Got to be 260, don't they?
Let's see
Got
here.
it. I got it. Maybe it's a road game. I bet the Dodgers are.
Minus 190.
190.
Is that all? Oof, they're giving away money free. Glass now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are they giving the Twins some home field cold weather
probably.
advantage there? Maybe I don't know.
Probably, I suppose. But Glass now, after his latest surgery, might have the best stuff of anybody. He's unbelievable how good he is, and but he only goes 6. Maybe he can get some off the bullpen tonight. So I don't know. It's,
Can you salvage a game here in the next couple days? That's
Ober struggled against that Betts, Otani, Freeman 1-2-3 murderers
Yes.
row that's basically in the National League,
Yeah,
and
and
they
then-
were all over him
and
on all 3 appearances
Will
yesterday.
Smith's hitting 4th, right?
Yeah.
Will Smith hitting 4th.
Yes.
I think I think you could talk me into him too. So, but they got some outs in the lineup. They're not. Their pitching is their real strength is there. So.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, our Whoopies are home tonight, right?
Yeah, we got is tonight. I'm going to be there tonight. I just got
the Wizards, right?
Yeah.
the Wizards. Yeah, this is you should be able to rest a couple guys if you want to here, in theory.
Yeah, and you got to go to Denver tomorrow night, and that's I think if you lose that game to Denver, you probably can't get the #1 seed because I was saying yesterday, OKC has got 4 home games this week that are pretty that look like they're winnable, and then Denver's. I think we're the only team that could beat Denver when you look at their schedule. So
the good news, if you beat Denver, you would have the season tiebreaker.
Yeah,
which is all that matters. And if you beat Denver, because the next tiebreaker with the Thunder would be because they split 2-2, the Wolves and Denver and Thunder.
Right?
It would be
Not
division record. And right now the Wolves have 1 fewer division loss than the Thunder. So they can, if the Wolves win a couple games here, they don't clinch anything yet, but be pretty interesting. Who do you want to face in the first round? Warriors, Lakers? What would be the fun series?
I'll take anybody but the Suns, and I don't want to play the Pelicans either, but I'd certainly take them over the Suns, but I don't not want to play the Suns.
By the way, if you fall to the 3, you're almost assuredly playing the Suns or the Pelicans in the first round.
Yeah,
it looks like.
That's true. It would be, if somebody could knock off OKC a game this week, that'd 1 or 2. I'll take 1 or 2. I don't care about that. But when you get, I don't know though. If you're 2, you might end up with the Pelicans, right?
Yes, you could wind up with or the Suns because it's the Pelicans or the Suns will be in the play-in, probably hosting the 7 versus 8 game.
I can't think of a Western Conference where it has been as balanced as this, is the talent level of, because the best teams aren't as good as they usually. They're good, they're all good. Oklahoma City, the Timberwolves, and Denver are all good, very good. But I don't think they're as dominant as they've been in the past. And the teams down at the bottom are the teams that are going to squeeze into the play-in game are nasty. I heard Kendrick Perkins. By the way, that guy's fantastic.
He loves the Timberwolves
Perk's
too.
great.
Funny.
Yeah.
He's funnier than hell, though. And I heard him yesterday, and they said the host was going to try to get out the idea that the Lakers, if the Lakers play the Timberwolves, that the Lakers would probably beat them. And he said, I'll give the Lakers a 40% chance, but then he talked about it like he thought it was a 20% chance that the Lakers could beat. But
well, to your point, there's a chance that the 6, 7, 8 seeds, when it's all said and done, could be the Suns, the Lakers, and the Warriors. If it plays out, the 6, 7, and the 8.
I'd rather play the Lakers than the Warriors, I think.
Because Anthony Davis could,
He
slip on a banana peel and miss 3 games.
Yeah, that's If you play 7-game series against the Lakers, Anthony will miss at least 3 of them. So you know that. But then we get our guy D'Lo back, and there'd be a game in there where D'Lo got 32 and was bragging, and then the rest of the games he'd stink. So
2 for 14.
Yeah, right. He had
I would
another big
welcome that.
scoring game the other day, though. I saw that he had another one of his. Okay, you're really ripping me, so I think I'll go out and get 28 tonight. But then don't worry, I'll go back and lay down like the dog I am for the rest of the, for the next couple of games. But it's extreme. It's almost NHL like.
It is
for the playoffs this year that you don't know.
Yeah. And even in the East,
the play-in is working too. That's the thing. It's the play-in is working. It's coming to my sport as soon as Bettman's gone. They're gonna throw that exact thing in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What'll it be though? It won't be a 1 game, right? In the NHL.
It should be. Let's make it a 1 game. That'd be so much fun.
It might be best 2 or 3s.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
2 or 3s maybe.
For the
but they're definitely
the
going
NBA does 1.
Are we officially cooked yet? The Wild are we officially eliminated?
I don't think so. I think with a loss tonight at Colorado, that might be it.
Mathematically still alive. Yes.
Really?
Which means Bally's fired up.
Okay.
Bally's
the Wild are in Western Conference hospice right now, but
Do
the
or
plug
die
has not been
tonight.
blown.
The oxygen machine is pumping, but it's not over.
My guy Lodge last night, I did listen to the post game. And Lodge was telling us how wonderful Glasnow is. At first, I don't know anybody ever gets a hit on him, and I think this is just what the Twins need. And I said,
No, Lodge,
to get
no.
them fired up.
Stop. Do not rip Lodge. Lodge is off limits as far as I'm concerned.
I love Lodge, but he left me. It's one of those rare times when he left me confused that we should be happy that we're playing Glasnow. They're facing Glasnow. I didn't quite get that one.
The Twins are bored with the pitchers they've faced so far. They need they need one of the best in the world.
Now we get to face the guy with the best stuff in America. Okay, that's just what we need. And who knows? Maybe they'll win and Lodge will be correct. I don't know. But I was confused. I got to admit that.
Well, Pat, it was a good chat here today, catching up with Optimistic Pat on this Tuesday.
You know me, though. You know me as a lifelong 64-year-old, more Twins guy than anybody. I'm quick to turn on them, right?
Yes.
Like last year, I only hated them until about August 15th. Then we kind of,
Reusse.
They got me. Yeah, they got when Reusse got to town, and we actually decided he was going to play a few games in a row. We then everything changed. So
yeah, Reusse told Declan yesterday to get the rest of us in the clubhouse once in a while, so we can talk some
Purple
ball.
Daily, okay. Why don't you got to get him as during the season a Purple Daily football guest.
Probably.
I mean, if he wants to come on every week, every day to talk
his
Vikings,
observations on Monday to talk the Vikings game and break it down. All right,
Pat. We'll see you later this week. There he is, Optimistic Pat here. Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh.